The house smells like dust and surrender. Eleanor stands in the doorway, key trembling in her hand. The walls lean like tired shoulders. Paint peels in long curls, whispering the word alone. Outside, the sun drops behind the trees, heavy and gold. Inside, everything hums with silence. Not the tense silence of family dinners. A different kind. An empty kind. She breathes it in until her chest burns. Her phone vibrates once. A message from her mother, "We're disappointed in you." She turns it face down. The screen goes dark, and the world feels lighter. She unrolls a sleeping bag in the middle of the floor. No furniture. No noise. Only the soft creak of wood, remembering footsteps. The air tastes like freedom and rot. Her hands shake as she lights a candle. The small flame flickers against cracked wallpaper. For a second, the house looks almost alive. She whispers to it like a secret. "We'll fix each other." Rain begins against the roof, gentle at first, then fierce. A leak forms above her, dripping in uneven rhythm. She moves the candle, places a bowl beneath the water. It sounds like a heartbeat. She imagines her parents at their table, forks aligned, smiles rehearsed. She imagines Chloe laughing, the center of their orbit. And her own chair, empty now, finally hers to leave behind. Eleanor opens her journal, its cover warped from years of hesitation. She writes one line, "I chose myself." The words look fragile but feel solid. The rain thickens. She laughs softly, almost afraid of the sound. No one to shush her. No one to correct her tone. Only the echo of her own voice in this broken place. She explores the rooms with her flashlight. Each step kicks up dust like ghosts waking from sleep. A cracked mirror reflects half her face. For once, half feels enough. The kitchen holds nothing but rusted pipes and promise. She imagines morning light pouring through clean windows. She imagines laughter that isn't forced. She imagines peace. A sound outside startles her. Just wind through the trees, shaking loose the last leaves of autumn. She locks the door anyway. Old habit. Old fear. Her reflection in the glass looks older too, harder, real. The rain quiets. The house breathes. She lies down, the floor cold through the thin sleeping bag. She counts the drips until they match her pulse. Her body aches, but her mind hums with clarity. She thinks of every time she said yes when she wanted to say no. Every apology she made just to keep the peace. Every time her mother said, "Family comes first." And every time it meant, "You come last." Eleanor smiles into the dark. Tomorrow, she will scrub the floors. Tomorrow, she will begin again. Tonight, she belongs to herself. The phone rings at dawn. Eleanor blinks at the screen. Aunt Margaret. She hesitates, then answers. "You really did it, didn't you?" Margaret's voice crackles with smoke and disbelief. Eleanor laughs softly. "I did." "You bought that wreck." "Yes, it's mine." A long pause hums through the line. "Your mother called me," Margaret says finally. "Wanted me to talk some sense into you." Eleanor sits up, blanket sliding to the floor. "And I told her sense is overrated." The words hit warm and sharp. Eleanor doesn't realize she's smiling until her cheeks hurt. "You weren't invisible, Ellie," Margaret continues. "You just were Chloe. There's a difference." Eleanor's throat tightens. "I don't think." "Let me finish." Paper rustles in the background, her aunt's morning crossword routine. "Remember that spelling bee? You were 8. Eleanor closes her eyes. She remembers the word, serendipity. "You won. Your daddy bought Chloe a new bike that weekend." She said she felt left out. "She never rode that damn thing," Margaret mutters. Eleanor laughs, then swallows the sound. "Then there was your graduation," her aunt says. "They drove Chloe to her recital instead of you." Eleanor presses a hand to her forehead. The memory burns like embarrassment reborn. I thought I was over that. You were never allowed to be angry, Margaret says. You learn to shrink before you learn to speak. The truth lands heavy. The silence after feels like an open window. Why tell me now? Because when they come back, and they will, you'll want to forget this feeling. What feeling? The one that tells you you're finally free. Margaret exhales smoke through the phone. Freedom costs more than forgiveness, sweetheart. Don't let them buy it back. The line goes quiet. Only rain against the window answers. Eleanor sets the phone down, her pulse steady but her hands trembling. She walks through the house, bare feet brushing against dust and history. Each creak feels like the building's slow applause. She finds the window that leaks and tapes plastic over it. It looks ugly but strong. Her reflection ripples in the thin film, ghost-like but certain. She whispers the word again, free. Outside, the road stretches empty toward the horizon. For the first time, she wants to follow it. No destination, no approval waiting at the end. Just air and possibility. She makes coffee on a camp stove. It tastes bitter, burnt perfect. The kind that doesn't need anyone's permission. She takes her mug to the porch, sits on the steps. The wood sags beneath her, but it holds. The clouds part, faint light spilling across the yard. Somewhere far away, a car door slams. She thinks of her family's voices, measured, cold, rehearsed. Then she thinks of Margaret's, rough, honest, human. The difference feels like oxygen. Eleanor tilts her head back and lets the morning wash over her. She doesn't owe anyone an explanation. Not anymore. The days blur into motion and dust. Eleanor learns the rhythm of old wood and stubborn locks. She scrubs floors until the water runs gray. Each stain feels like history, loosening its grip. The house groans less now, like it's remembering how to breathe. She paints one wall pale yellow. It looks uneven but warm. When the brush slips, she laughs instead of cursing. Small victories count here. At the hardware store, she meets a man named Frank. His cap says Vietnam vet, and his smile says be kind. He shows her how to patch holes without losing patience. You're building more than walls, he tells her. She doesn't answer, but she knows he's right. That evening, she eats canned soup on the porch. A shadow moves at the gate. An older woman in a floral dress waves. I'm Mrs. Keller from next door, she says, holding a covered dish. Saw you working, thought you could use something decent to eat. The casserole smells like butter and kindness. Eleanor accepts it with both hands. Thank you, I'm Eleanor. I know, dear, small town. Mrs. Keller smiles, eyes bright as her silver hair. We've all been watching this old house, waiting for someone brave enough to love it. That night, Eleanor eats until she can't stop smiling. It tastes like community. It tastes like home. The next day, Frank drops by with extra nails. Then 2 teenagers from the church offer to help clear the yard. They trade labor for pizza and stories. By sunset, the garden breathes again. Eleanor's hands ache, but her heart doesn't. She sits on the porch with Mrs. Keller, drinking sweet tea. Looks better already, the old woman says. Eleanor nods, so do I. Laughter drifts from the street as the boys leave. The sound doesn't sting like it used to. It sounds like belonging. Her phone buzzes later that night. A message from Chloe, hey sis, long time, can I call? Eleanor hesitates. Curiosity wins. Chloe's voice pours through the line, honeyed and brittle. The retreat center flooded, she says. I have nowhere to go. Eleanor stares at the peeling wallpaper. There's space here, barely. Come if you need to, she says finally. The headlights appear past midnight. Chloe steps out, wrapped in cashmere and chaos. Her perfume fills the small room like an accusation. This is quaint, she says, lips curved in practiced grace. Eleanor carries her bag upstairs. Guest room small, she warns. Small's fine, Chloe replies, already photographing the chipped banister. Eleanor pretends not to see. In the morning, Chloe stages breakfast by the window. A steaming mug, sunlight cracked paint. Caption ready. Eleanor's stomach knots. She recognizes the pattern, Chloe's performance of compassion. Every smile a transaction. Every hug a headline. She takes her coffee outside. The air smells like rain and reckoning. For the first time, Eleanor wonders if kindness has an expiration date. The house stays quiet behind her, listening. Eleanor wakes to the sound of camera clicks. Chloe's voice floats from the kitchen, smooth and calculated. Perfect lighting, she murmurs. Authentic decay. Eleanor walks in, bare feet cold against the floor. Chloe has arranged props like a showroom of struggle. Candles, crystals, a yoga mat rolled out across uneven boards. Her phone perches on a tripod, lens trained on the mess. Eleanor freezes. What are you doing? Chloe startles but recovers fast. Creating content. My followers love redemption stories. Eleanor blinks, unsure if she's hearing right. You're filming my life. Our life, Chloe corrects, smiling for the camera. You said I could stay. I'm helping you. Eleanor feels her jaw tighten. Helping me how? By sharing your journey. People need hope. She scrolls through her phone, captions glowing like betrayal. Supporting my sister's healing path. From burnout to brave. Family first. The rage that rises is cold, not loud. Eleanor grabs the phone and scrolls through the photos. Her house looks tragic in every shot. Broken steps, torn wallpaper, her tired face unaware. You use me, she says quietly. I'm showcasing you, Chloe insists. You'll thank me later. Eleanor deletes the images one by one. Chloe lunges forward. Stop. The screen goes black. Eleanor meets her sister's eyes. You don't get to make me your backdrop. Chloe's voice cracks. I was trying to help. No, Eleanor says. You were trying to harvest me. The words hang like smoke. Chloe grabs her bag, fury replacing tears. You'll regret this, she hisses. Eleanor steps aside. Maybe, but it'll be my regret. The door slams. Gravel spits beneath Chloe's tires. Silence returns, rough but clean. Hours later, an email arrives. The sender, Regional Wellness Funding Committee. Eleanor's chest tightens as she reads. Chloe's grant proposal fills the screen, dripping with stolen pain. Photos of Eleanor's home. Quotes from her journal. Using my sister's struggle as inspiration for healing spaces. Eleanor scrolls faster, nausea rising. Her life repackaged as content. Her freedom rewritten as failure. A final note blinks at the bottom. Did you consent to this? She exhales, slow and sharp. Then she opens a blank document. Her fingers hover over the keyboard. She starts typing, to the committee. Each word lands steady, deliberate. Dates, screenshots, evidence. No emotion, only truth. When she finishes, she rereads it once. Then she presses send. Outside, rain begins again. It sounds different now, cleansing, not heavy. By evening, her phone pings. The committee requests a meeting. She wears her cleanest shirt, sets up her laptop. Behind her, freshly painted walls glow pale yellow. The camera turns on, faces fill the screen. Eleanor breathes deep. The photos were taken without permission, she begins. Her voice doesn't shake. By the end, the committee thanks her for her honesty. When she closes the laptop, the room feels lighter. Outside, the house settles with a sigh. Eleanor smiles at the sound. For the first time, silence feels like victory. The news breaks 2 weeks later. Chloe's grant is revoked. Sponsors pull their deals. Her perfect wellness brand begins to crumble. Eleanor reads the headlines once, then closes the laptop. The quiet afterward feels earned. Her phone buzzes again and again. Strangers write to her, women with similar scars. Stories of stolen voices, curated pain, borrowed grief. Each message feels like a candle, lit in the dark. Eleanor replies to none, but reads them all. Across town, her mother starts calling. At first, messages sound polite. Then they sharpen, lined with accusation. How could you do this to your sister? You've embarrassed the family. She deletes each one. Aunt Margaret texts instead. They're panicking. Keep your chin up. Eleanor smiles faintly, smears paint on her overalls. The living room wall glows in the afternoon light. Mrs. Keller drops by with lemonade and gossip. They're talking about you, she says, mostly admiration. Eleanor shrugs. Let them talk. The next day, her father appears at her office. Same suit, same frown, same authority. My daughter doesn't work here anymore, she hears him tell the receptionist. She steps out before security does. Dad, she says, calm as stone, leave. He turns, startled by her tone. You've become ungrateful, he snaps. I've become free. Her boss calls her in later, eyes wide with concern. Everything all right? Eleanor nods, better than it's ever been. That weekend, the local paper runs a feature. Historic home, restored by local writer. The photos show sunlight, not decay. They show life returning to wood and soil. Neighbors wave when they pass now. Children bring her wildflowers and stories. The house no longer feels haunted. It feels awake. During her next writing class, a student asks, how do you know when you've succeeded? Eleanor thinks a moment. When you stop needing someone else to define it. They all nod like they understand. That night, a text flashes from Chloe. Having a hard time. Can I stay a few days? No apology, no acknowledgement. Eleanor stares at the message until the screen dims. She sets the phone aside. Outside, the wind moves gently through the porch vines. Fireflies flicker in lazy arcs across the yard. She writes in her journal, pen scratching soft as breath. I'm not their lesson anymore. The next evening, headlights roll up her driveway. Her parents' Lexus, Chloe's SUV. 3 silhouettes step out, framed by porch light. Eleanor watches through the window, pulse steady. They knock once, twice, 3 times. She opens the door but doesn't step back. You should have called first, she says. Her mother's eyes flash. Family doesn't need an appointment. Eleanor crosses her arms. Then maybe I'm not family anymore. The silence between them stretches, taut and final. The night air tastes like rain and closure. For the first time, she's ready to let them hear the truth. Her parents step inside without asking. The air cools with their presence, sharp and rehearsed. Her mother clutches a folder like a shield. Her father adjusts his cufflinks, pretending control. Chloe lingers behind them, phone in hand, eyes down. We need to talk, her mother begins. Eleanor leans against the doorway, calm and rooted. About what? About unity, her father says. Family unity. Eleanor almost laughs. That's a new word for manipulation. Her mother sighs, hand to chest. We've all made mistakes. Some of us just call them tradition. Her father sits in the old armchair, the one she restored. Enough bitterness, he says. We're here to make peace. Peace without accountability isn't peace, she replies. Her mother opens the folder. We drafted a statement, she says. Something to protect everyone's image. Eleanor tilts her head. Everyone. Her mother nods. If you retract your complaint, Chloe can rebuild her reputation. And what do I get? Family, her mother says. Support, belonging. Eleanor walks to her desk and pulls out a box. Inside lie receipts, photos, and letters, proof of a lifetime of imbalance. She lays them on the coffee table, one by one. Let's talk about belonging, she says. Chloe frowns. What is all this? Evidence. Her father's jaw tightens. Her mother's hand trembles. These are the choices you made, Eleanor says. Every time you took something from me and called it love. Chloe's voice cracks. You're dredging up old wounds. They never healed, Eleanor says. You just ignored them. Her father slams his fist against the chair arm. We did what we thought was best. For her, Eleanor replies. Never for me. Silence fills the room, thick and suffocating. Then she exhales slowly. I have terms. Her mother looks startled. Terms? Yes, therapy, no shared finances, written apologies, public acknowledgement. Chloe's laugh is brittle. You're delusional. Eleanor smiles faintly. No, I'm finally sane. Her father rises, voice low and angry. You're choosing failure. Eleanor meets his eyes. No, I'm choosing truth. Her mother gathers her papers, trembling. You'll regret this. Maybe, Eleanor says, but regret belongs to the past. She opens the door. The night hums beyond the threshold, soft and steady. Leave the folder, she says quietly. You won't need it anymore. They file out in silence. Chloe pauses last, lips parting. I never meant to hurt you. Eleanor nods once. You did anyway. The door closes. The sound echoes like an ending and a beginning at once. She exhales, shoulders shaking with relief. The room feels warmer, lighter. A text from Aunt Margaret appears moments later. Proud of you. Dinner Sunday. Eleanor smiles through tears. Sunday sounds perfect. Outside, the garden glows in the moonlight. The house creaks content. The foundation feels steady beneath her feet. For the first time, she isn't surviving her story. She's living it. Summer settles gently over the house. The porch smells of paint and time. Eleanor waters the garden, soil warm beneath her feet. Neighbors wave from across the fence. Mrs. Keller brings tomatoes wrapped in a towel. Frank drops off spare wood for a new table. The teenagers laugh as they hang lights along the porch rail. This is her family now, quiet, imperfect, real. Her phone buzzes with a new message. A formal envelope photo from her mother. Another Sunday dinner invite. Eleanor stares at it for a moment. Then she types her reply. Thank you for thinking of me. I've built my own table now. She sets the phone aside and joins the laughter outside. The lights flicker against the twilight. Someone hands her a plate of cornbread. Music hums through the summer air, soft and alive. The house no longer feels like escape. It feels like arrival. Eleanor looks around at faces, glowing in the warm light. She doesn't need permission to belong anymore. She has everything she once begged for. Home, peace, people who stay. And under the wide Kentucky sky, she finally breathes without fear.